Hey guys, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell to be updated every time I make a new video. Thanks, let's begin. A war waged between God and the devil through a video game. Waxwork II, Lost in Time.
You said it was over!
This is the 1992 sequel to the cult classic Waxwork from 1988, and was also directed by Anthony R. Hickox. The plot: right after the events of Waxwork, Sarah and Mark try to leave behind the horrors they encountered there at the Waxwork. However, a severed hand from one of the horror exhibits follows Sarah home, kills her stepfather, and now she's part of a trial. To prove her innocence at court, Sarah and Mark must travel through several timelines. Portals of time, if you will, to find a piece of evidence. When talking about Waxwork II Lost in Time, you cannot be amused by Hickox's spontaneous and spastic approach to doing the horror sequel. He took what was essentially a cheesy yet awesome 80s horror film that had a main location as its villain, as well as the keeper of that location, and then just expanded upon it. There's more than just a waxwork involved in this universe. This film hinges on the fact that you are watching a film called Waxwork, yet it has little to nothing to do with the original Waxwork Museum or any of its kind, and for you to find enjoyment with it still. In that regard, it succeeds in giving the audience more of an adventurous tone, with things like stories within stories, monstrous effects, and music. There's a sense of world building that works and doesn't. There are so many adventures to have, yet they're all based on works of fiction and literature and movie 4. With a $3.5 million budget, 500 grand more than the first movie, Hickox definitely delves into a bigger cast. Mark, played yet again by Zach Galligan from Gremlins and Gremlins 2: The New Batch, returns and doesn't stick out too much. He is slowly learning his purpose and finding out what adventures there are in store for him through a medallion that opens doors to teleport him to different locations. However, I don't feel the energy when Galligan's on screen, like I did in the first. He seems to try to meld into the different worlds and act with them, spontaneous and spastic, but still acting within them. He knows what's going on and seems to just go along with it. It's a bit of an odd choice that really doesn't fit with his character from the first movie. In that one, he was kind of a rebel. Here, he's just melding in with everything that's around him. You could consider it character growth and change, but I call it inconsistency. Sarah Brightman, now played by Monica Shinar, who was in the Beastmaster TV show, and was only in this movie as this character because the original actress, who was married to Hickox, had divorced him before this movie began production. She didn't want anything to do with the film. Understandably so. Still, I think Shinar does a decent job given the material she has to work with. It's quite demanding. She has to perform a lot of different emotions for the different subgenres of horror she's in. I think she does alright. For prolonged cameos, we have Bruce Campbell from, Evil Dead as John Loftmore, in a ghost segment based strictly on The Haunting from 1963. We also have David Carradine from Death Race 2000 and Dino Croc vs. Super Gator, his first big film and his last film. He plays a peasant beggar who has a connection to Mark. And Alexander Godunov from Die Hard, He was the bleach blonde brother to one of the mercenaries who goes crazy when that brother of his dies.
I want blood, you rabbit!
He is Scarabus, Both he and Carradine play in a medieval segment. Some other character standouts are George, played by Michael Desbarres from Ghoulies, as a flamboyant ears and eyes type character to Cerebus, and the stepfather, played by George Buck Flower from, ton of movies as a homeless bum like They Live and Pumpkinhead. Although he wasn't homeless in that, but he was still a bum. And the return of Sir Wilfrid, played by Patrick McNee from The Howling. He is here in archival footage form. The segments that each of the characters are in are memorable in their own way. Some are kind of creepy, while others are cheesy or corny to the max. To the max, you should say it like that, Brian. Jeez. For the gore, the effects, we get some cartoonish yet awesome gory effects in this flick. Like, seriously, a lot of this stuff is awesome. My favorite kills are in the alien segment, where the titular life form pulls a guy's head so that his neck stretches beyond possibility. It goes so far, and then he shoves it back down into his neck. Like, into his chest cavity, so his head's in his chest now. That was brutal and awesome. And also in that segment, a guy's face is bashed into his helmet, and then it implodes because of, space. The final suck. Not the vacuum, don't bring out the... We also get Tasty Ribs Campbell. The obstructive, eruptive Badman blood spray, and some more. The effects are a bit over the top and zany, but have that 90s charm to them. Besides the simpler effects like, the sword stabbings, we get some pretty impressive stuff here. The as before mentioned alien in the alien segment is actually really cool looking. A lot of people think it's stupid, but I think it's awesome. It's something that doesn't look like a xenomorph. It kind of looks like something from Pitch Black or the Riddick series. It's bulky, but has weight to it. That doesn't make it move awkwardly. In fact, it's rather quick and agile. And then there's the somewhat infamous scene where a woman is turned into a panther, which is a highlight for sure. The Godzilla puppet is really bad, but probably intentionally bad. No, it's definitely intentionally bad. Either that or it was a last-minute effect that didn't get a lot of love put into it. I vote for the former. I don't blame the budget for that one. It's bad. Oh no! It was probably a statement from Hickox saying that, yeah, the Showa Godzilla suits were pretty bad, but I can make worse. The motion picture soundtrack. Steve Schiff composes a great, hard-hitting score. I don't know why I said hard like that, but yeah. It has a triumphant fantasy quality to it that still retains the vibe of the Roger Bellin score from the original. It's energetic in parts, and the synth is worked overtime, as well as the chimes and violins. It's a really fun score all around, and may even be too good for this movie. Not saying the movie is awful, but the score is far superior. Schiff also wrote the lyrics for the song Don't You Forget About Me for the band Simple Minds for the movie The Breakfast Club. I thought that was pretty interesting. The rap song at the end was hysterically hip and catchy as crap. Lost in time like a bug in the jaw, no matter where you go, there you are. I have too much time on my hands. Not really. This is a bit of a forgettable ride, but every time I watch it I end up having a blast. It takes a little bit to get into, but the pacing does pick up. There are a lot of fun characters and cameos, effects, and the music rocks. I'd say, yeah, watch this if you enjoyed the first one. You won't have as much fun probably, but the acting and writing is a lot better this time around, for sure. Overall, I give Waxwork II a 2.5 out of 5. Thank you all for watching, and Lion Brian Gatto, the Horror Shark. Make sure to like, comment on, as well as share this video. Like my Facebook page and support me on Patreon, or even $1 a month will help keep this channel going on strong, and I greatly appreciate it. Plus, you get access to body counts and other music videos that you cannot get on YouTube because of copyright and age restriction. You also get early access to other videos. Monetary support. If you want to support the channel through PayPal, it's horrorshow37@gmail.com. I greatly appreciate that too. I'm also on TikTok and Twitter. All the links are in the description. If you don't want to support me with any money or follow any of my links, just hit that notification bell to be notified every time I make a new video. And as always, subscribe. Bah.